Hi, I'm Jim with Night Owl Monitoring, and I want to introduce Chad with Currie Drilling.
How's it going?
Pretty good, Chad. It's good to have you. Tell
Good.
us a little bit about Currie Drilling.
Oh, Currie Drilling's been around since 1941. Fourth generation water well drilling company. Shane Currie, the current owner, him and his wife, and then obviously his dad and uncle before him, granddad and great granddad before them. We mainly do residential water wells. Every now and then we'll get into the irrigation side, and public water systems. Um, we do drilling and service all in one house.
I know you're up in North Texas. What areas do you serve?
Yeah, so we're in the Texas Panhandle, Canyon, Amarillo area. Um, Typically that keeps us busy enough. Every now and then we'll go a couple hours outside of that area, but Canyon and
Yeah,
Amarillo keeps us pretty busy.
yeah, I bet. How did you first learn about Night Owl, and what made you want to explore our remote monitoring technology?
So first learned about it was in Vegas at the National Groundwater. And you did a class there that I happened to be attending for continuing education. Um, and I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and it was something that I had kind of already been exploring in my own head of, hey, this is something I need for there was a particular public water supply, um, that I was trying to figure out something like this for. Um, and sat in that class and everything that I had thought about, you talked about. So I was like, man, I got to talk to this guy and figure out what he's got and see what we can do. So was able to talk to you and here we are.
Well, that's great. Well, tell us about some challenges or some specific pain points that your business experiences that you think remote monitoring can fix.
Again, the biggest thing I see it for is the public water supply. These people, if their water goes down, they got to shut down their business. And that's money. Um, so if we can monitor these things and get alerts and check in on them every morning just by opening the dashboard, um, it's best for everybody. It keeps their business up and running and catches problems before they're calling us screaming, "Hey, we got to shut down if you can't get here." And so it's a lot easier on everybody. And then same goes into the residential side. I think it's you know going to be a smaller market, but there's going to be people out there that are going to want it, and it's going to be an advantage to us that we can get out there and we can fix problems before they're in the middle of a shower full of soap and suds in their hair, and they're calling us saying, "Hey, I couldn't even finish my shower out of water." You know, so
Yeah.
it's definitely a big preventative action that I love to see. So.
What made you decide to partner with Night Owl Monitoring?
Um, well, initially, like I said, when I heard you at the National Groundwater, you kind of hit everything on the head. And then after speaking with you and Sean about kind of some projects that I had in mind and what we could do, it wasn't directly in what you had available, but y'all made some changes and y'all took the initiative to figure out what can we do to make this work. And we made something work. And that just being able to do that and get with y'all and make changes, and it's not just like, hey, this is what we have, you're stuck with it. If it doesn't work for you, find something else. The fact that you were like, hey, let's see what we can figure out and we'll get back with it next week, that was I really enjoyed that. The communication between you and Sean has been great. um, there's really nothing to complain about. We've had nothing but good experiences so far.
Well, that's good to hear. I know that you got one of their demo systems, and I want to hear about your process of installing that. Was there anything that surprised you about the process?
um, it was, I mean, it's super easy, and I probably have one of the hardest installs that we would ever come across on just a basic system because my power and control box is 150 foot away from my pressure switch, pressure tank, across the shop. So, I had to get up and run wires across the ceiling and, but it outside of that, it was super simple, pretty much a plug and play application. And within minutes we had info on our dashboard, seeing all of our data. So it was pretty impressive how easy it was.
Can you tell us about something that happened during that demo period? Something that might have highlighted the value of remote monitoring?
So for us at our shop, we use a lot of water. Um, we we fill up our water trucks for when we drill and we put the water in the pits. So we're constantly running water, and I was able to set our alarm points to where if it runs longer than it should to fill up a water truck because somebody forgot to turn the water truck off, then instead of wasting water, wasting power, we get an alarm. Oh crap, water's been running. Let's go check on it. And either it's not quite full yet, and but it gives us a good reminder, or oh crap, it's overflowing. Let's turn it off.
Yeah, and I
Um,
know that you even set up a relay so that you can actually turn your pump off remotely too.
yeah, so that's another thing too. If we pull the water truck in at 5 o'clock, we can park it, turn the water on, and say okay, that truck's going to take an hour and a half to fill up. We'll set a timer for an hour and a half, and then open our phones and turn it off from home. Go home, eat dinner, and don't have to come back up there to turn the water off or anything like that.
That's
Um,
pretty,
so that's pretty cool. I mean, luckily there's a couple of us that live pretty close to the shop, but the phone's
yeah,
even closer. So
yeah. How do you see remote monitoring changing your business and your industry?
I personally, I'm a proactive guy. I'm a preventative maintenance. Proactivity is huge. Um, so the fact of being able to call people and tell them, hey, we see an issue, instead of people calling us screaming, I have no water, I need you now. Um, I think that's awesome. I mean, it's better customer service, and like you have less emergencies and frantic people by being able to do that. Like I said, obviously the public water supplies, that that's huge for them because
Yeah.
if they go down, they lose money. And if we can keep them from losing money, they're going to be a lot happier people. So,
What would you say to other water well companies that are considering using Night Owl's technology?
I think give it a shot. I mean, like I said, we've had nothing but good out of it. Um, there's so many things you can do with it. I mean, we've had a couple feed yards approach us that have 20, 30 wells, and they want to monitor them all, and it's possible. It's not just hey, this is what we have. It's tell us what you need and we'll figure it out. And I really like that about the company.
Thank you, Chad, for your time today. We're honored to be partnering with you, and we look forward to many years of supporting your business.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.